Hello, movie fans. My name's Alberto, and today I'm going to be doing my movie review of the movie The Terminator. It's directed by James Cameron, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor, and Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese. Alright, let's begin. The movie starts off in the future. It's Los Angeles 2029. And you got a Terminator tank. And it shows a resistance fighter that's running. And it's all Los Angeles, all in rubble. Again, 2029, it's all rubble, it's all destroyed. There's lasers shooting everywhere. Once again, Terminator tank is roaming around, and it's shooting at seems like it'd be a resistance fighter that's running. Excuse me. And you see a laser shoot the floor, and apparently it destroys the resistance fighter. Words come out explaining what's going on, that there was a nuclear war. And this is after the nuclear war, where the machines rise from the ashes after the nuclear war. I mean, we're gonna have human survivors here and there, and it's stating that the future's not set, and the real battles for humankind is not going to be fought in the future, but in the present, which is going to be in Los Angeles 1984. So now we're going to Los Angeles 1984, and we see that we're in the city. And we see a garbage man. He's in a garbage truck. And you see like electricity. It's like it's electricity going everywhere. And we see something appears from the electricity. Someone's coming from the future. And it's the Terminator, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. All muscular. He's naked, and it will be said later on that nothing dead will go. That means that this Terminator cannot come in with any type of clothing or any weapons, and so he's gonna come naked. And what the Terminator is, he looks totally human on the outside, hair, skin, all that. But in the inside, it's like an cyborg kind of robot from the future. The Terminator's scanning around, and he sees three punks that are at a pavilion. They're looking at a telescope. Looking through a telescope, they're fighting for it. Well, two of them are. And the cyborg goes walking towards them, kind of dumb talks for a while with them, and he says, the cyborg says, "Your clothes, give them to me now." And one of the punks says, "F you," and stabs the Terminator. By the way, this punk is Bill Paxton, which comes out in Aliens later on, which is another good movie. Well, anyways, the punk with a spiky blue hair, Bill Paxton, yeah, he stabs the Terminator in the stomach. Doesn't do anything because it's a robot. Good luck with that. And the Terminator punches through the punk's stomach. He lifts him up. I don't know why I remember the toes of the Terminator going up while he's picking up the punk, played by Bill Paxton, which is kind of funny. So he kills that punk, and he kills the other punk, And the last punk is smart enough to be like, here, take my clothes. So Terminator's gonna take his clothes. The next scene we have somewhere else in the city. Someone else's. You see electricity again, so something or someone else is coming from the future, and from the electricity lands a human, which will be Kyle Reese, and he is not like the Terminator. He's gonna come in pain, like on the floor, like and he's naked. Once again, anything that comes in the future can nothing that will go, no weapons, no clothes. So Kyle Reese is naked on the floor in pain, like once again. And there's a bum in a near there's a bum, a wino drunk kind of bum. He's sitting beside a building near Kyle, and he asks Kyle, "Did you see a bright light?" I nailed that line. Kyle then starts stealing the bum's pants, takes it away from him. Haha. While Kyle is putting on the pants of the bum, a patrol unit comes, a cop comes, and he's flashing the light at Kyle. Kyle's like picking up the bum's pants. He's putting on his pants. He came in naked. The cop says, hold it right there. And then Bum's like, yeah, he stole my pants. Kyle starts running down an alleyway. Kyle's running, cops in pursuit of him. I guess Kyle got a good lead, and he hides somewhere. Cop comes in, and Kyle ambushes the cop. Manages to take the cop's gun away. Kyle has a gun, points at the cop, and says the date. What is it? The cop's like May 28th, something like that. And then Kyle's like, the year. The cop's like, what? On curiosity. Kyle then runs he finds a door in the alley. It's like a back door. It's chained and locked. Kyle shoots through the lock and then runs in. And it's like some kind of department store. It's like a mini JCPenney or something. And it has clothes and guns and all this stuff. Other cops arrive to the scene. Cop says, he's got my gun, and they go into the department store after Kyle Reese. You see Kyle in a changing room, and he's looking for shoes his size. Puts on shoes, gets a trench coat. I'm not sure if he gets a shirt. The cops are in there, in that department store. They're shining a light. It's all dark. It's after hours, of course. And one scene I remember, there's like a staircase in that department store. Cop looks up to a flashlight. Wow, that's not looking very thoroughly. Once you go up there, you never know. You're not doing a good job of looking for Kyle. Kyle ends up, I believe he goes out through the front entrance. I don't know how he does this, because it doesn't seem like he smashed any windows. You don't see no glass anywhere. You don't see him jimmying the lock. So I don't know. He gets out, and he just blends in with the city life, nightlife. After getting out of the store, and he just walks on the sidewalk like nothing happened. And he hides the shotgun he took from the department store and puts it in his trench coat. Hides it in his trench coat. So he avoids the cops right there. From there, we're going to go to Sarah Connor in the daytime. She's driving her moped to work. She chains her moped to like a Big Bun Boy statue or something. I guess it's the mascot of that restaurant she worked in. She's a waitress there. So yeah, she changed her moped there, and she's like, "Take care of it, Big Buns." So she's dressed for work. She's a waitress, like I said, and she's taking an order. No, she's bringing an order to some customers, to some male customers, and yeah, the order's mixed up. I don't know if the cook mixed up the order or she did. And the customer discussing, like, they're kind of irritated, like who had what dish or whatever. And then there's a kid in the next booth who has a spoonful of ice cream and puts it in Sarah's apron. So Sarah's like, oh gosh, And she has that face like, oh, like today's not my day. Then one of the customers, the male customer, says, thanks, kid, I ought to give you the tip, which is mean. Now, we're going to have some scenes. We have one scene where we got the Terminator. He's at a gun store. He's with the cashier there selling the guns. He's saying, I want the Uzi, 2.6, whatever, blah, blah, blah. All these different guns. The cashier's like, just what you see, pal. And he's still asking for guns. So he's taking all these guns. The cashier's giving them to him. And the cashier's like, well, you could take some of these guns, but you have to wait. There's a waiting period for some of the guns. And while he's saying that and turns his back to look at some guns or something, the cyborg is loading the shotgun he's got. Then the gun catcher sees him and says, you can't do that. And the Terminator's like, wrong, blows the cashier away. Then you got a scene where Kyle's in the alleyway, and his shotgun, he's sawing it off. Now, if I get in a chat with you guys, you male guys that are into guns, maybe even women, maybe you can explain to me why people saw off their shotguns. I'd like to know. It's my ignorance towards guns. I don't know much about guns. We have also another scene where the Terminator has stolen a car. He parks a car in a residential area and he's walking towards a house. And he knocks at the door. A lady answers at the door. She does have a chain at the door, being cautious, which is smart. But it doesn't matter because the Terminator breaks through the door. No, at first he goes, Sarah Connor. She's like, yes, peeking out the door with a chain in it. He breaks through the door, takes out his gun, has it with a scope with a red dot laser points it at Sarah, that lady. Shoots her continually because she's a Sarah Connor. So he's looking for people with Sarah Connor. Oh yeah, earlier he had gotten a phone book and looked up the phone book of. So now he's looking at Sarah Connor's find. So now this is his first victim. So he killed that Sarah Connor. Next, we're gonna go back to Sarah's work, and her female coworker friend says, "Come here, Sarah. You're going to love this." That friend coworker calls Sarah over to come meet her at the break room. At the break room, you have some workers there. They're looking at the news on the TV. There's a news anchor woman. She's talking about that there's been a Sarah Connor, aged whatever, 28, mother's 2 or something, has been killed. And when that happens, the friend /worker tells Sarah Connor, "You're dead, honey." And Sarah's like maybe like rolling her eyes or something like, yeah, just like she probably thinks like it's coincidental. Then we have now Sarah's gonna be at her apartment. There she has a roommate and they're getting ready to go out. Then there's a you have an answering machine and there's a message that comes in. It's it's Sarah's date for that night. Uh, Her date says he is not gonna make the date, and Sarah and her roommate, her roommate's name is Ginger. They're disappointed about the date, whatever, and then Sarah's like, oh well, her date's been canceled. She's petting her pet iguana. How many guys have iguanas for pets? I know people have snakes for pets. I'm like, well, I'm not a pet owner, so well, that's kind of wow. She has an iguana for a pet. Anyways, so Sarah tells her roommate Ginger that she's gonna go out for pizza and a movie, and Ginger's waiting for her boyfriend. I think it's the boyfriend to come. That they're gonna stay at the apartment together. Hang out at the apartment that night. So Ginger's gonna wait for her boyfriend Max. Sarah then she goes and she's gonna take off. She goes outside. She gets startled by Max that's coming in. Max, she's like, "Oh, Max," and then Max gives her a friendly kiss on the forehead or her head, and Max goes inside to go spend time with Ginger, and Sarah goes to the garage to go get her moped so she can go out and get pizza and go see a movie on her own. She has a suspicious look at her face. She thinks she feels like she's being followed. But she gets in her moped, she takes off, and it turns out that Kyle is following her. He's in the car and he follows her. He follows Sarah in her moped. Now we got Ginger and Max. They're in the apartment. They're making love, having sex, whatever you want to call it. Ginger, the class act, is freaking listening to the Walkman, listening to the music, while she's having intercourse with Max. They are done, and now it shows that Ginger is gonna go to the kitchen using her Walkman. She's always using her Walkman. She loves music, I guess. Really likes music. She goes to the kitchen to go get a snack, and she leaves Max in the bed just lying down. So she's goes in the fridge, she's getting her snack, she's getting milk. It looks like she's gonna make a sandwich. The iguana scares her. Is in the cupboard. She goes for the cupboard for something. Iguana scares her. After that, we see that the cyborg has made his way to Sarah's apartment. He's outside. Now, one thing is, I don't know how he gets inside. It doesn't show Jimmy's a lock. I don't remember him. He couldn't have broken the door, because we'll see in a little bit. But he gets in somehow. Not clear how, not that I remember. And now he makes himself, he makes his way to the bedroom where Max is sleeping. the Terminator is above Max. It's seeing Max like laying on the bed. He makes a fist and he punches down. And good thing Max, for some reason, I guess he wasn't fully asleep. He moves out of the way. He's like, "Whoa!" And the Terminator misses, just hit the pillow. Feathers go flying, I guess. And then Max is in his tidy whities, and he says, "Don't make me mess you up, man." So he's getting ready to fit himself. He gets a lamp, and he slams the lamp across the Terminator's face. It's a Terminator done doing thing. The cyborg, of course. After that, well, yeah, there's a struggle, and Max tries to take him down, take down the cyborg through his legs. Good luck with that. The Terminator just throws Max through the window. I think it's a glass door window. And Max comes back and tries again to fight the Terminator off. And the cyborg just throws Max, this time through the door, killing Max. And his head goes to the door, and he's all dead. And he's like, with his tongue out, like, At the same time he goes through the door, being killed by the Terminator, we got Ginger coming with a tray of food. I guess she was gonna eat it back at the bed, but she sees Max dead and she gets startled. Like, she drops the tray and all the food is on the floor. Like, starts yelling and stuff. She sees the Terminator coming out of the bedroom. Ginger turns her back and runs, trying to run and escape. Terminator takes his gun with a scope, starts shooting Ginger in the back, and shoots her about 2 or 3 times. Ginger goes flying down, and it looks like she dies immediately. As soon as that happens, there is a message on the answering machine, and you can hear it's Sarah's voice, and the Terminator is like seeing the answering machine hearing. Now we're gonna stop there. And now we have to go back to where Sarah's at right now, at that time. Remember, she had left in her moped to go get go out to eat, dinner and a movie kind of deal on her own. She was at a bar/restaurant, and she has her pizza. And when she's about to eat her pizza, eat a slice, she hears something on the TV. There is a TV behind the bartender, and there's customers there. And one of the customers asked the bartender, "Hey, could you change the channel because it's on the news?" But Sarah hears that the news anchor woman is talking about another Sarah Connor has been found dead. So this is the second one she knows about. And yeah, the customer's like, "Can you change the channel?" And when Sarah hears that news about that Sarah Connor's been found dead, she's like, "Don't touch it." And she's listening, and she's realizing, hey, you gotta, this is starting to get serious. This is the second Sarah Connor they found dead, She's starting to realize that she needs to call the cops, so she's gonna look for a payphone. She finds the payphone on the on the wall, and it has a note that it's out of order. So she's like, "Oh, out of order." So she walks out of that establishment. She gets she's on the sidewalk walking, and then she sees a club. She's about to get in the club. There's a punk cashier there, and Sarah asks her, "Hey, do you have a phone?" That cashier at the club says, punk girl says, "Hey, 450." She's like, yeah, it's in the back, $4.50. So Sarah pays the money to go use the payphone. So she goes in, people dancing, and then she goes all the way back to the payphone. She makes several calls. She tries calling Ginger and Max, and that's where the Terminator. That's where the Terminator is, getting is. That's where he's gonna hear. And she tries calling the detectives. So now we're gonna go back where the Terminator is. He's listening at Sarah talk to the machine, and Sarah does leave a message on the machine, revealing her location at that bar. So now the cyborg knows, hey, I know where she's at now. And I figured, like, Sarah called them to see if they could go pick Max and Ginger could pick her up, but she doesn't know they're dead. So that happens, and then the Terminator also is looking around the room, and he finds like a card. It's a university card of Sarah, and he finds out. He sees the card and it has Sarah's picture. So now he knows what Sarah looks like, and he has a location because Sarah just revealed it on the machine, which is not her fault. She doesn't know her roommate Ginger and Max are now dead. Sarah apparently has been making calls to the police, but she's always getting the machine over there that all cops are busy or whatever. But finally she gets through, and she gets to talk to the detectives. And she's telling the detectives, hey, I think I'm being followed. She also has a feeling she's getting followed, and her name's Sarah Connor. And she says that she's at a club on Pico, the name of the street. And the detectives say, just stay there, hold on tight, and we'll send a police car to go get you. So Sarah makes her way to a table, and she sits down, she waits. It's also showing that when Sarah was in the club, Kyle was walking outside. And when she sits at the table, she's just there waiting. And now the Terminator has arrived outside. He's gonna go past the punk chick, of course without paying, because he's a cyborg, he don't care. I'm gonna pay. And he crosses, he passes the punk cashier, and the punk cashier tells a bouncer, a big bouncer, muscular guy, and she's like, hey, that guy didn't pay. The bouncer puts his hand on the cyborg's shoulder, and the Terminator just simply gets his hand and crushes it. The bouncer goes down to one knee, and holding his hand in pain. The punk cashier attends to him, and the Terminator is walking through the crowd that's dancing in the club, all the music and stuff. And you see Kyle is sitting at a booth or something. He's sitting somewhere. He's made inside as well. The Terminator is still walking to the crowd. He gets to Sarah. He spots Sarah because he knows what she looks like in the ID picture. He goes to her table where Sarah's sitting. The cyborg takes out his gun with a scope and all. Same gun he killed Ginger with, I believe. Then he's about to point it at Sarah, and the red dot's right here. Kyle, at the same time, is pushing all the people dancing out of the way. He takes out his shotgun. Once he clears the people are in his way, all the people that are dancing, he aims a shotgun at the Terminator. Well, the Terminator has a scope on Sarah's head, the red dot on her head, and Kyle saves her in the nick of time and starts shooting the Terminator. Within each shot, now explain this to me. Kyle's shooting the Terminator with a shotgun, and with each shot, the Terminator's going back and back, going back, and he goes out the front window, like the front window in the front. And how does he manage to go all the way over there? Did Kyle really shoot him that much with a shotgun? I think not. It's kind of suspicious, kind of weird. I don't know. Someone please explain that to me. So, with Kyle's several shotgun shots through the Terminator goes out through the front window and lands on the sidewalk outside, all the way over there. Wouldn't it be like 30 feet to like 40 feet? Like, because Sarah's table was like in the middle of the club. Did he really shoot the Terminator? Would he go that far? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, so Terminator's on the sidewalk, went up to the front window again. Sarah is looking at him, and the cyborg is slowly getting back up, and she's like, wow, what's going on? And then one of the famous lines from this movie, Kyle extends his hand to Sarah and says, come with me if you want to live. And Sarah is about to go with him, but the Terminator's getting up. He gets on his feet, gets his Uzi machine gun, starts shooting. And I remember he's shooting, and then Kyle ends up behind a bar and starts shooting a shotgun at the cyborg. And Terminator shooting with his Uzi, and Kyle is hiding behind that bar. Where the bartender's at. And Kyle manages to get Sarah, and they take out through the back door. It's going to lead towards the alley. And the Terminator is in pursuit right behind them. So yeah, we're at where Sarah and Kyle are running down the alley. Now, I don't know if they explained this for the Terminator, but it looks like the Terminator goes out the alley and is after him, and it looks like he's jogging, kind of running. I thought it said, like in Terminator Part 2 or 3, that they can't run that fast or something. Because later on you're going to see that the Terminator's robotic foot, it's like, they're like spikes. I mean, can they really run? I don't see how they can run. Anyways, that's one thing I question. But we're going to get back to it. Kyle and Sarah running down the alley. Terminator looks like he's running, jogging after them. Well, at least jogging. I'll give him that much. Kyle gets to the car, to his car, but there's a car in front or in back where the Terminator's running towards them. Excuse me. Kyle then gets his shotgun, shoots at that car where the Terminator's coming. He goes for the muffler, shoots the muffler, car explodes. And it's kind of weird because it explodes and then the car's on fire. Kyle and Sarah are already inside, I believe, Kyle's car. That was fast. And the Terminator has already jumped through the fire from the other car, the explosion, and landed on Kyle and Sarah's car. He smashes through the window. Kyle's going in reverse. He makes a move. He turns quick, and the Terminator goes rolling off the car. And Kyle and Sarah take off in the car, but there's also a police officer that witnessed the whole thing. He might have been the police officer that was there to pick up Sarah. Who knows? I don't know. But what I can tell you is that police officer gets out of the car. He radios in, "Hey, I seen, someone got hit. So hit and run. We're on." He gives the location, the address, the street, whatever. And while he's doing that, the cyborg gets up, gets the police officer, and throws him to the ground. And it's not, well, I would think it would kill the police officer because Terminator's strong. He throws him to the pavement, and his head is probably going to hit the pavement really hard and instantly kill him. Or there's a little small chance that he's knocked out. But, we don't definitely know. The Terminator takes the police car and steals it, and now is going to pursue Kyle and Sarah in that police car. Now, like we said, Kyle and Sarah are in the car. Kyle is taking off as fast as he can in the car. He's driving as fast as he can. He's trying to tell Sarah, "Hey, my name's Sergeant Tetka." He's introducing himself while he's being chased by another cop. He tells Sarah here that that she's been assigned for termination. That, there's the plan to kill her, which is by using this Terminator. She tries to jump out of the car, I believe, at one point, and Kyle stops her. It's kind of hard because he's driving and trying to keep her from jumping out of the car. Until he's telling her stuff. At this time, Sarah's like, "Hey, I just saw that man get shot." And then Kyle's like, "No, it's a Cyber-9 systems. He's not human. He's a cyborg. He's like a robot." And yeah, that's when Sarah's like, "A robot?" He's like, "Just a second. He's still dealing with the cops." Kyle loses a cop by smashing into the cop's car, and I think the cop's car hits another car or hits something. So Kyle and Sarah escape the cops. They end up going to a parking garage, and when they're in the parking garage, they're parked there, and Kyle's trying to tell Sarah more information. He explains that the Terminators in the future, that there were some before, that they were easy to spot, but these are new, powerful. They have hair, they grow fingernails, all that stuff, have blood. But they have an army chassis inside, just basically saying they're a robot inside cyborg. He says that in the future, he tells Sarah in the future the Terminators almost take them out. They have disposable like factory units, Terminators, that they're killing humans night and day, but out finally came a resistance fighter leader. That'd be John Connor. He goes, "John Connor, your son, Sarah, your unborn son." And of course, he tells her about the war and the future war and everything, the nuclear war, and the future war afterwards, with Terminators coming out from the ashes. In the parking garage, we're gonna have cops that are patrolling around. They're looking for Kyle and Sarah, and the Terminators are too. In a stolen police car, he's patrolling as well. There is an interesting part where Kyle, he has on his wrists like some numbers in red or something. That's when I guess he was captured in one of those human factories in the future. So that was interesting. And it's interesting. He said that they're running disposal units of humans. They're trying to kill humans in the future. They kill them all in factories or whatever, and had them worked. They had them as workers as well. But now we got, like I said, there's cops in the garage and in patrol cars looking for Kyle and Sarah. You got the Terminator. Kyle and Sarah, they do move from that car to another car. I guess they did that car because the cops probably have the license plates, and it'll be harder to find them if they go to another car, with a brand new car. If they do get another car, they're still talking. And there is a part where Sarah was trying to bite Kyle's hand like that. And Kyle goes, "Terminators don't feel pain. I do. Don't do that again." And Sarah's like, "Just let me go." And Kyle's like, "Listen, understand that Terminator is out there. He can't be bargained with. He can't be reasoned with. He doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and he absolutely will not stop ever till you're dead." And so Sarah goes, "Can you stop it?" And Kyle's like, with these weapons, I don't know. I've seen this movie like a billion times. So yeah, I know the lines. So yeah, they moved into that other car. They're still talking. Cops and patrol units going around. Terminator in his stolen patrol car, police car going around, and Kyle makes a move, or he moves something, and the Terminator's patrol car is actually behind them, and he sees moving in a car, and he figures it's them, and he shoots at Kyle and Sarah's car, and he shoots through the back window. Kyle does make the move and starts taking off fast, and then Terminator goes after him, so there's another hot pursuit in the parking garage, which I would think is very dangerous because there's a lot of cars. There's not much room to drive, I would think. So Kyle's driving fast with Sarah on the passenger seat. The Terminator is driving right behind him, trying to catch up to him, kill them. So yeah, the cyborg's driving right behind them. Then Kyle's driving fast and does a Top Gun Maverick move or something, because he's driving fast and then he stops on the brake. And explain this to me. The Terminator is behind him but manages to go to the side and doesn't. And the cyborg drives by them, like how doing that stopping move, braking real quick. The cyborg drives past them and hits a wall. Now my question is, why didn't the Terminator just hit him from behind? Like, yeah, you would have think if he's right behind Kyle, the cyborg's car would have hit the back of their car, but no, it went to the side and hit the wall. I don't know. Maybe you guys can explain that to me. When the Terminator's police car hits the wall, you got Kyle and Sarah. They just break the car, so they're just there. The cops have already caught up to them, and they park their cars on the side like they always do, and they have them, I guess, surrounded, you can say. Maybe they're not surrounded, but you do see Kyle. He's trying to turn on the car, and he can't turn it on for some reason. He don't want to turn on. And Kyle immediately gets his shotgun, like he's gonna go fight with a police officer to try to corral or his way out of there, do a shootout, which he's gonna lose because there's so many cops. So he gets a shotgun, and then Sarah gets him by the arm, and the shotgun like, no Reese, they'll kill you. And the cops are like, you in the vehicle, get out with your hands up. So they're going to apprehend Sarah and Kyle. They're going to arrest them. Well, at least they're going to arrest Kyle. I never saw them handcuff Sarah because I think they figured like maybe she was the one that was making the phone call. She was a Sarah Connor. While that was happening, there's a police officer that does go investigate the police car that hit the wall that was driven by the Terminator. And there's no one in the car. So the cyborg has left the scene. They're going to take Sarah and Kyle to the police station. And they do. But, I mean, it's obvious. They're going to take him to the LA police station. Then we have the scene where, the Terminator is going to go back. He's going to go recoup. Well, it turns out that he's been damaged. He's going to go to, he does have a hotel room. It's like a Roach motel or something. It's all ghetto. It's all cheap. It's not a 5-star hotel or anything. So the Terminator has arrived at his hotel room. He starts, it turns out he has a scalpel, and he opens up his forearm because I guess he got damaged from the car accident, and I guess he messed up his cyborg arm or whatever, but he's working on the forearm. And he's going like this with his fingers. When he opens it up, you see like thingamajiggers. There's like metal little pipes that are moving. They're connected to his fingers, and he's working on it with a scalpel, or he had opened it with a scalpel. He's working it, blah, blah, blah. So he works on that. After that, he goes to the restroom sink, and it shows that he has damaged his eye. It's a cool scene. He gets like the scalpel, just taking out the eye. He also gets a towel and takes out the eye or something like that. Well, all I know is the artificial eyeball or whatever. It falls into the sink full of water, and it's blood with it. It's a really cool scene. Then you see the cyborg's red eye, his robot eye. The pupil's all red. He did what he can with it, but it seems like it can't repair it. It's just going to stay like that. The robot eye is going to be out. So he puts his sunglasses on. So he won't attract attention to himself when he's in public. If he has to be in public, chasing Kyle and Sarah. He puts his sunglasses on. He fixes up his hair, whatever. After that, he goes to his bed. He picks up the mattress, and under the mattress, he has his machine guns. He takes those machine guns. He goes out the back window, which he's gonna go pursue again Sarah and Kyle. Now we're gonna go to the LA Police Department building, where they have arrested Kyle Reese and they have Sarah Connor. Now Sarah, she's in the office with detectives, and Kyle, they have him in a questioning room. They have a criminal psychologist come in, and he's talking to Sarah and the detectives in the office. And Sarah's like, "So is Reese crazy?" And the criminal psychologist says, "That's what we're going to find out." So they're going to question Kyle Reese in the questioning room. There's the criminal psychologist and one or two investigators. They show that Sarah's seen the taping of this in the office with the detectives. But we're going to get to the questioning of Kyle Reese. Kyle Reese, I see he talked about 2 stories. But he does give some info that he's fighting under a regiment called Perry or something like that. I found that interesting. I like all this military stuff. Kyle also, well, the criminal psychologist said, "Hey, let's go back. You were talking about some displaced equipment, something like that." To me, it seems like in the future, in 2029, they, the resistance fighters had, they managed to steal some future weapons or weapons at that time that will help them destroy Terminators. So they found that equipment and they got it, so that they had a chance to destroy the Terminators. And they also talk about the battle where something with the time machine that I believe John Connor, he's in the future destroyed that place with a time machine, and that's where Reese says, "Oh no," the criminal psychologist goes, "How do you guys go back?" Him and the Terminator. He's like, "We can't. Nobody goes home." Kyle says, "Nobody goes home. It's just him and me." So it's Kyle saying that the time machine in the future has been destroyed, and here in the present, where they came from the future, now it's here inside the present. It's only the Terminator and him. Nobody come to the time machine because they already destroyed it. So Sarah's still watching tape, and it gets to the point where Kyle is telling the criminal psychologist, "I have answered your questions, but I have to see Sarah Connor." And Kyle says, "There's no authority here," and he tells the criminal psychologist, "Shut up. He'll find her. That's all he does. That's all he does. He's gonna rip her heart out." And he starts trying to get out of his handcuffs, and he's trying to restrain him. And he goes, "Let go of me." And Sarah's watching at the same time, and one of the investigators tells the other one, "Hey, stop it. You know, Sarah's gonna get upset about this." The criminal psychologist also had said that from Reese's statement that he can make a career out of Reese, that there's almost no shred of evidence, like kind of like saying that he's making this up, lying or stuttering. Like it seems all legit. Well, because it is. And then Sarah asked the criminal psychologist. He goes, "So, after all the questioning, Sarah asked him. So Reese, she asked him again, "Is Reese crazy?" And the criminal psychologist says, "In technical circumstances, whatever, he's a loon." So yeah, criminal psychologist is saying Reese is crazy. The detectives show Sarah body armor with a bulletproof vest, and they're recommending she uses it. They're telling her that about the couch there in the office, that it's pretty comfy. So yeah, they want to keep her over for safekeeping. I think they said her mom was gonna come in the morning or something. One of the detectives nice enough to take his jacket and give it to her to use as a blanket. So that's that. Now we're gonna go to the front of the building where there's a police officer working on some paperwork. He's like a registered police officer. He's like at the front window kind of deal that's leading to the outside. And we have the criminal psychologist. We see him there already, where that police officer is in the front desk or front office, whatever you want to call it. And that criminal psychologist is we see him there, and he's leaving. Then we have the big man himself, the Terminator, coming to talk to the police officer in the front window. And he tells the cop, he tells the police officer, I'm a friend of Sarah Connor. I was told that she was here. Can I see her, please? The cop said, no, she's busy. She's taking a statement. And the cyborg says, where is she? And the police officer says, look, it might be a while. If you want, there's a bench over there that you can sit at outside. The Terminator scans the window. I just remember that part. He's scanning the window and he says his Arnold famous line, I'll be back, which everybody's heard of, especially people, you all that seen this movie, and you guys that haven't seen this movie, you probably heard of that line too. It'll be like, what movie is that from? So the cyborg takes off. He keeps his promise and he comes back, but this time in a car, and he smashes through the front office, crushing the police officer that's at the front desk. And now the action's going to start. Once he crushes that police officer, once the Terminator crushes the police officer at the front desk, he takes out his 2 guns from the vehicle. Actually 2 machine guns. No, actually, corrected myself 3 times. It's a machine gun and a shotgun. And he starts walking into the police station because he just busted open to the front. And he shoots 2 cops, and there's even one with coffee or something. It is shown that, like, Sarah has heard this ruckus on the front. I mean, it's going to be a big ruckus because someone just ran a car to the police front part of the police station, crashed it all up. And we know the cops they're aware. So yeah, Cyborg's starting to shoot up cops. We still have Sarah in that office. We have the Terminator shooting up the place, and the Terminator's already killed a lot of cops now. And we have Kyle in an office. I'm surprised he's not in a jail cell. But he's in an office with 2 investigators. The investigator tells the other investigator, watch him. As soon as that happens, right as soon as the investigator tells the investigator, watch him, the other investigator runs out. And Kyle is still handcuffed in his back like this. And he manages to knee the investigator. It's supposed to be taking her right in the breadbasket, right in the tummy. Now, you guys can comment on this when you get a chance. Is that really possible? Isn't that hard to knee somebody in the breadbasket while your hands are handcuffed behind your back? Y'all let me know. Well, when that detective gets kneed in the breadbasket, the keys fall down. And Kyle, with his hands handcuffed behind his back, he gets down and tries to pick up the keys, which is going to be pretty hard as well, in my opinion. Hey, I guess if you're motivated, you can do anything, right? Well, usually. Mind over matter. Whatever. What's going to help the cyborg is that he goes to the big old fuse box on the wall of the police station. He gets one of the wires and electrocutes the rest of the wires. I don't know what you call that, the way he did. But it takes out all the lights, and then boom, just the emergency lights come out. So it's not going to be very bright. Top of that, the Terminator has infrared, so he can see in darkness or anything. At this time, the cyborg has shot up, probably killed most of the cops. We see that 2 detectives, one has already been shot by the Terminator. The detectives are laying against the wall. There's still 1 detective alive. It looks like he's the only one left. Besides the one that hit the ground earlier. He just got knocked out by Kyle Reese, needing the breadbasket. The last detective has a machine gun, and he calls the Terminator like, "Hey!" He sees him. He sees the cyborg down the hall. Starts shooting a machine gun like, well, all he has, and valiant effort does nothing to the Terminator. Terminator just turns around and shoots with the machine gun. Shotgun kills the last detective. And the building's on fire from the whole battle. Oh, from the inside there's a lot of fire. We got Sarah. She's gonna hide under her desk in the same office. She creeps and is trying to look a little bit outside the desk, creeping up. She sees a shadow, like somebody's coming to the outside of her door. She hears someone break through the glass, and that person's arm gets the knob and turns it from the inside because he broke through the glass from the outside. Opens the door, and then we hear Sarah, and then Sarah knows it's Reese, so she goes, Reese or Kyle, and Sarah runs out with Kyle, and when they're in the building, they're trying to evade the cyborg, and they do make it out of the police department. The Terminator's right behind them, and Sarah and Kyle make it outside, and they take off in a gremlin car, an ugly gremlin car. And the Terminator makes it outside, shoots at them while they're driving away, and once again, Kyle and Sarah have evaded the Terminator. Now we get to Kyle and Sarah in that gremlin car, and they're driving down the boonies, on the street, and there's all woods all around. They run out of gas. They ditch the car. They push it out of the way, out of the street. Make sure the Terminator comes and won't see the car. They walk into the woods, and then they walk into this place that has a wall. I don't know if it has a top, but it's definitely not a house because they're still on the outside, but there's a wall. And they manage to take out a medical kit from the gremlin car. How many of y'all carry kits in your vehicles? I don't, but it sounds smart and very cautious thing to do. Can't think about that. Anywho, again, Kyle and Sarah, they walk through the woods and they get to that place with that wall. Kyle and Sarah start talking. Sarah she sees that Kyle's got shot, and Kyle's like, no, it's nothing. And yeah, Sarah's like, you got shot. We gotta take care of it. She takes out the medical kit, and she starts attending to Kyle's wound. And she says, oh, it's gonna make me puke. She's referring to it as disgusting. It has a lot of blood. So, yeah, she attends to his wound. And she goes, yeah, this is gonna make me puke. Talk about something. And Kyle's like, what? And she's like, well, tell me about my son. Kyle says, well, he's about my height. And at this time, Sarah tightens the bandage like really hard, and Kyle's like it hurts him. And that's when Kyle sees Sarah's eyes, and he tells her he has your eyes. And that's where Sarah tells Kyle that she doesn't want any of the responsibility. She doesn't want it. And then Kyle tells Sarah, there's like a line or a paragraph that John Connor made him memorize it to tell Sarah. Something about the future's not set. You must be strong as humanly possible you can be. You must survive or I'll never exist. He said something about it. Kyle then tells Sarah she has a nice field dressing. I guess he's referring to her camouflage or shirt or whatever. She says it's her first. They go sit at that wall I was talking about they got to. They're tired, I guess. Sarah's like, tells Kyle while they're sitting, not on the wall. Well, or they're leaning against the wall. Sarah tells Kyle, tell me where you're from. Kyle says, Terminators are not too bright. Terminators at this time never knew us are the worst. Now we're gonna go back while Kyle's telling her about the future. It doesn't make sense because Sarah's gonna dream about the future. How does she dream about it? She's never been there, you know. How does she know about the Terminator tanks or aircrafts they have and stuff like that? To me, it kind of doesn't make sense. But oh well, okay. So she's gonna have the reality dream sequence. That's what I call it. Yeah, well, Kyle's explained that she's having this reality dream sequence, and the dream sequence starts where Kyle is on patrol. He's like, they're laying down, laying low. He has his future laser gun with his future scope. It's like a TV monitor in the scope, and he's noticing well, I guess 100 Terminator aircraft from afar. He's looking at it. He's evaluating the situation, I guess you can say. And he's there with his resistance fighters, and he goes, okay, let's go. His patrol of resistance fighters. And they follow him, and they start walking, and they're starting to walk down somewhere, like it's heading towards a basement or something, or an underground something. And then they get to a door, and it's like, I want to say it's a peephole, but it's bigger, it's way bigger than a peephole. They have something they can flip off. It's a metal thing. It's a metal door. And Reese and his patrol get to this metal door. Reese knocks on the door with his gun. Says, Sergeant Ted Codd, like 0-830 whatever. And the other soldier on the side says, right, let him in. So they let Reese and his patrol in. Reese comes in with his patrol. He's signing in. He's feeding a dog or petting a dog or something. And he walks in with his patrol, and he sees resistance fighters, and it also has civilians living there as well in this underground outpost. And he sees these kids. He sees one kid that has a rat. He has a bad tail. Looks like you're gonna eat it. He sees another kid that has a homemade broomstick or like a broomstick gun. Pretends he's shooting at Reese. Like Reese gets his gun, playing with him. Pretends he's shooting at him. And Reese goes to sit down here at a wall with his back against the wall. You hear women like crying, and they're starving. You know they're malnourished. Reese finally finds some peace, and he takes out a picture of Sarah Connor that has a dog there on the picture. He's just admiring it, looking at it, what have you. And then when you think everything's so peaceful, you hear a ruckus. Apparently, the resistance fighter had let some civilians in, and a Terminator has sneaked in with them. The Terminator has a blanket over him. He takes out the blanket, really cool, and he has like a big, comes in with a big futuristic machine gun, and he starts shooting up the place. He starts I see he's shooting resistance fighters first. I'm not sure if they show where he shoots civilians. I'm pretty sure he does because he's shooting up everybody. And most of the resistance fighters in there, that underground outpost, don't even have a chance to get shot immediately. There is one resistance fighter. He has a futuristic gun. You would think the guns are waiting for it to take down the Terminator. He keeps shooting it, and he's shooting like a pea gun. It's like psh, psh. It does nothing to the Terminator. But he's fighting pretty cool because he'll shoot and duck or go hide behind a wall and shoot again. Pretty sound strategy, but it's not doing nothing to the Terminator. And I don't know if this resistance fighter, if he runs out of ammo or whatever, but he decides stupidly to run at the Terminator. He runs at the Terminator. What is he going to do when he gets to the Terminator? You know, he can't do nothing to him. But when he runs, of course, the Terminator just comes out with his big future laser gun, shoots the resistance fighter and blows him in half. And there goes him. And you see Kyle Reese. Again, he's with fire on the floor. It happens again. He's like, ugh. And there's like fire near him, so I don't know if he got shot or he's wounded or scared or who knows. And then after that, you see a really cool scene. The Terminator shooting this futuristic guy, still shooting it in darkness, and his eyes are all red. It looks awesome scene. Cool. Then Sarah just wakes up from that dream. And Kyle's she's still sitting beside her on the wall. She's waking up. He's consoling her, has his hands on her like that, trying to like little half hug, whatever. Sarah goes, I was dreaming of dogs. And Kyle's like, well, yeah, we use them to locate Terminators. And then it shows that they're walking from the woods and they're gonna walk somewhere. They do show a scene with the cyborg. He looks like he's at somebody's house and he's reading through a diary. He's going through it. He's examining it, trying to find any information to find Sarah Connor. Now we're gonna go to, they show the semi-truck. Sarah and Kyle, it looks like they came out of the semi-truck near a street and near motel. I guess we'll call it motel. Motel, hotel, what's the difference? I don't even know. We're gonna call it a motel. I'm gonna try to get a room. Kyle asks Sarah, he has some money, he goes, is this enough? Then Sarah's like, yeah, but I don't want to know where you got it. Maybe you stole it from the truck or somewhere before that, who knows? Doesn't say. They walk to the front office of the motel. She asks, you gotta, can we get a room? And then Kyle's petting a dog inside. He goes, one with a kitchen? And Sarah goes, yeah, one with a kitchen? It's going to show that Kyle and Sarah now have a room. Sarah's sitting at the bed and she says she wants to take a shower. Reese says she's going to go out for supplies. So they're going to do that. Then we have Sarah. She's already taken a shower. She has her, I think she has her, the towel over her head, like she just finished taking a shower. And she's talking to somebody. And we hear like it's like a mom's voice. So we assume it's Sarah's mom, but it shows that it's the Terminator that actually can copy a voice. And this cyborg has Sarah Connor's mom's voice. So we don't know that if the Terminator has killed Sarah Connor's mom, or B, Sarah Connor's mom wasn't just there and he figured out how to get her voice some way, somehow. It's not clear. But I will tell you, the cyborg is pressing Sarah Connor to reveal her location by using her mom's voice. And because you hear Sarah saying, "Hey, Mom, I'm not supposed to reveal my location." And the Terminator's using the mom's voice saying, you know, well, I'm so worried, trying to trap her and all that. And we hear Sarah say, "Okay." So that means she's going to, stupidly, she's going to reveal her location after either Kyle or the police told her not to be doing that. So she screwed up. The Terminator's going to have the location where she's at. Haven't they learned their lesson from all that running they've done from this cyborg already? Kyle has arrived with supplies. He tells Sarah that he's going to make them something to eat, some dish he made for the future. Well, what possible dish can you have? Rat stew? I don't know. And it turns out he has bought materials to make pipe bombs. Now, we never see what dish Kyle has in store for Sarah so they can eat. I was always curious, what did they eat? The rat stew? Anything else from the future? They never show, so we never get to see. I'm just worried about dumb things, ain't I? I'm a curious cat, what can I say? But they do show when they're making the pipe bombs. The pipe bombs have caps. They show where Sarah wants to help. Kyle says turn the cap, and he's like, she's doing it fast, and then he goes very gently. They don't want to blow each other up. You know, making those pipe bombs, they already have enough problems with the Terminator trying to kill them. Yeah, so Sarah does it very gently, and then he tightens it. Thought he told him, I don't know, I don't get it. He tells her to do it gently, but he tightens it at the end, so I don't understand. Do you? Do you guys understand it? Well, anyways, apparently they eat them that we didn't see what dish they had. The pipe bombs are made. And later on, it shows that Kyle's near the window. He's keeping guard, keeping an eye out for the cyborg. Sarah's just there hanging out. Sarah asks Reese, he'll probably find us, won't he? And Kyle's like, probably. And they have a little bit of conversation, but Kyle ends up telling Sarah, I came across through time for you, Sarah. I love you. Sarah doesn't say anything yet, but Kyle gets his bag and starts putting clothes with pipe bombs. I don't remember what. Probably clothes. And he said, I shouldn't have said that. And then Sarah says, I love you. So Kyle and Sarah have their big love-making scene. We're having sex on the bed. Sex on the beach. Sorry, I want to say it, but No sex on the bed. They they wish they were in the beach so we could be totally far away from that nasty Terminator. So they're done making love, having sex. Um, it's showing the cyborg is on a motorcycle. He's headed somewhere, and we know that Sarah revealed the location, so he's probably on the way to. Well, we know he's on the way to that motel. I'm pretty sure she gave him the room number and everything. It shows Sarah and Kyle, a really cute scene where Sarah, I think she has some clothes. She goes, "Thinks fast. Like, is she gonna pass it?" I don't know if she passes it to Reese or pretends. I don't remember that part. I should remember. I saw it a million times. Um, so they have that cute little scene. Think fast. Kyle's like, "Oh, laugh." But then they noticed the dog out. There's a dog outside barking. That's a sign that the Terminator is here. Yeah, the Terminator makes his way to the room. He busts open the door. He starts shooting up the place, shoots the bed and all that. When I see that, it makes me think like in the bar when he was zeroing in on Sarah and it looked like it was slow. Maybe it was just a slow motion. I don't know. That now it's probably slow motion. But that this time he learned his lesson. Like you're not gonna take any chances. He's gonna shoot as fast as possible when he does shoot. Because the Terminator can learn from its mistakes. That's what makes him a good killing machine. So, anyways, he shoots up the room, and Kyle and Sarah are not there. It looks like maybe they went through a back window. It doesn't show, but I'm sure that's what happened. And they doubled their way back, and yeah, they came away around, and they stole a truck that was there in the front of the room. They stole that truck, and the Terminator sees that, and now he's gonna get on his bike and go chase him. So when Kyle and Sarah take the truck, Kyle is driving. He drives as fast as he can, like always. Another car chase, motorcycle chase, whatever you want to call it, but another chase in vehicles. And the Terminator is on his bike with his machine gun. With Kyle driving and Sarah in the passenger seat, Kyle tells Sarah, switch places. So Sarah's going to drive the black truck, and Kyle's going to get in the passenger seat. Why? Because Kyle wants to throw the pipe bombs. And Terminator's going to start shooting from his motorcycle with a machine gun. Kyle, with Sarah driving, is going to lights up the first pipe bomb, lights the fuse. He has to get out the window and then toss it. Well, he's actually like this, or something like that. Or no, he uses his hand to toss it. He tosses the first pipe bomb towards the Terminator. Goes ding 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 ding, blows up, pure smoke. Terminator drives right through with a motorcycle. Doesn't do anything to the cyborg. Kyle gets a second pipe bomb ready. He lights a fuse, throws it out, blows up. Cyborg just drives through. Kyle goes for, I think it's the third or fourth one. I think it's the third one. He goes for the third pipe bomb. And he goes like this, like he always does. This time, the Terminator shoots him with a machine gun. I believe it's the machine gun. And shoots him from the stomach to the chest, something like that. But definitely, Kyle has been hit and he's injured. And I think the pipe bomb falls down and it's not going to, the Terminator explodes because he didn't aim and throw it. And he's in the passenger seat hurt, and Sarah's like, oh man, you've been hurt. What are we going to do now? And the Terminator's still on his bike in pursuit. And I believe he runs out of ammo for the machine gun. And now he's going to take out a pistol and start shooting at them. Sarah's still driving. But the Terminator's catching up in his motorcycle. And he's trying to come alongside maybe to get a better shot at Sarah. Excuse me. The cyborg does on the bike get on the side of the truck. When Sarah sees it, she slams to the left. To the left with the truck and smashes into the Terminator, knocking him off the bike. And then I remember the bike goes sliding down sliding down the street, the expressway, on the side. Now this part, it makes me wonder, because okay, Sarah gets away like that with the truck, and to me it looks like the Terminator has crawled to the middle of the street, and a semi truck trailer comes and runs over the Terminator, which is like on all fours looking to the truck, and you can hear the truck horn runs over him, and it runs over him with all, I don't know how many wheels are in a semi truck. Like it'd be like, because it's just not one wheel, it'd be like two to a set, something like that. So it's probably got to run over at least with 8 tires. I don't know. I forget about trucks. I used to do security, logging in a whole bunch of trucks, hundreds, thousands of trucks. I don't even want to think about it. All right, back to the movie review. So my question is, if Sarah was on the truck and jolted the wheel to the left to hit the Terminator off the bike, wouldn't the Terminator be still on the left on the side of the road, not in the middle of the street? Yeah, those comments, y'all could tell me what you think. Or if I chat with you or something, and I'll get your take on it. So, but we're going to get to it, that the semi-trailer truck has run over the Terminator. It's just, this thing I wondered. So, the driver's like a fat man, and then it's on the passenger side, it's a young tall guy, that's what it looks like. The fat man says, hey, wait here. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to call him, man, or something. Not to be mean, or I'm not trying to be rude. So the driver, man, I guess we call him, gets out of the truck, and he inspects the tires and sees what they ran over, and he goes all the way to the back. Once again, the Terminator doesn't move, where he gets the big man, just slams him to the floor. Not very clear, but I'm pretty sure he killed him once again, hitting the head on the pavement, all that, what I explained, like what he did to the cop earlier in the film. So he's probably killed him. 1% chance he just knocked him out. And then he walks to the driver's seat of the truck trailer, semi-truck, whatever you want to call it. And his face is messed up. You could already see robot in his skin and all that, the skin peeling off. He looks disgusting. And he tells the young guy, get out. Well, he's gonna frighten the young guy with the way he looks. The young guy gets out, and he's gonna drive that semi-trailer truck to go try to destroy Sarah and Kyle. So he drives, and he's caught up to Kyle and Sarah. And the truck is gone. She crashed it. She crashed it or something happened to the truck. and they're just standing somewhere on a street or a parking lot or something. The cyborg has caught up to him in a semi truck, and he's gonna try to run over Sarah Connor. And Reese tells her to run, as usual. Sarah starts running. The Terminator's gonna go after her because she's the main target. She's the one that's destined for termination. Kyle goes to the side. Sarah's running. Terminator, the semi truck, going after trying to run her over. Then Kyle, while the truck is passing Kyle, he lights up another fuse for the pipe bomb, puts it in the compartment in the back of the truck. He found somewhere he could put it, and it blows up the semi truck with the Terminator in it, semi truck and trailer, and it's blown up. Sarah then runs to Kyle and says, "We did it, Kyle." They hug each other. The story over? Of course not. They're hugging, and then they notice that out from the ashes from that semi-trailer truck is popping up the Terminator. Comes up from the ashes. His skin is all melted. He's all cyborg. He's all robot, all metal. And he's walking with a limp. And Sarah and Kyle know they need to get out of there. They need to get out of Dodge. So they start running. They run towards a building with, once again, the cyborg behind them. When Kyle and Sarah enter the building, there's as soon as they get in, they see a lot of machinery, robots, machines, stuff, whatever. That's all it is, and there's a factory or something. And to the left, they notice there's a panel with all these buttons. They're gonna run past that, but Kyle says, "No, wait. We need to press all these buttons. It's gonna it's gonna turn on all the machines, and it's gonna confuse the Terminator." So he starts pressing and gets to the last set of buttons, and then he falls down. He's really weak from his wounds. He's really hurting. And he falls to the ground, and Sarah tells him, "Get up, soldier, on your feet, on your feet." She refers to Kyle Reese as a soldier because he says he's a soldier from the future. So she picks up Kyle, and they start running more into the building to try to hide or get away from the cyborg. The Terminator has made his way inside the building, and it seems to be working Reese's plan by turning on all the machines, because the cyborg's scanning the area, and it seems to be working. It's like the machines are confusing him. Kyle and Sarah have made it to a metal staircase. And Sarah's the one higher up the staircase. Kyle's on the bottom. Kyle gets a metal pipe because they don't have any weapons, so he needs something to defend himself. He's trying. He probably knows he's not going to do anything, but he's trying. Despite all the machinery going on that's supposed to confuse the Terminator catches up to him at the staircase. So Kyle sees the Terminator coming towards him. He tells Sarah, "Run." Sarah, being ignorant again, says no. Kyle says, "Run." She doesn't. She just walks a little bit up the staircase. Oh, brilliant. Kyle gets that metal pipe, swings it at the Terminator's head, hits the Terminator's head, boom, hits him once. Kyle once again gets the metal pipe, swings it at the Terminator's head, boom, hits him twice. It looks like Kyle's probably going to go a third time, try to hit him, but the Terminator backhands him and Kyle goes flying and gets injured really bad, because I have to say, being backhanded by a human is nothing. Being backhanded by a cyborg, pure metal, it's gonna hurt you really bad. So Kyle is really messed up, and after the Terminator backhands Kyle, he starts walking towards Sarah, the main target, once again. He passes Kyle once again, just like the truck. And what does Kyle do? Does the same thing. He lights a fuse on the metal pipe, puts it in a compartment he can find, to put it on the cyborg's hip. The bomb goes off, boom. The Terminator explodes. His torso and head and arms go one way, and Terminator's legs go another way. And everyone's affected by that explosion. There's a chance that Kyle got hit by a shrapnel. The Terminator obviously blew up. And now we see Sarah. She's leaning against some metal railings. And she's bleeding from the hip. Obvious shrapnel has went through her hip. Well, actually not the hip, it's her thigh. And she tries to get up, and it shows she's like, ah! She gets her thigh, she can't get up. So that means she can't walk. But maybe she thinks it's over. But if you really think about it, if she would have did what Kyle said and ran, she would have never got impacted by the explosion. But just being ignorant. So she's injured, but she figures it's over. But no, it's not over. What happens? The cyborg, or the Terminator, he flips up with his hands, and now he's still active. Still working with just his torso, his hands and arms, and his head. And he's going to crawl after Sarah. Sarah then tends to crawl because she can't walk because of the shrapnel that went through her thigh. So now they're going to have like a crab race. It's like two crabs racing, one after the other. Sarah's crawling on top of the stair, on the railings on top. The cyborg's crawling right after her. Now Sarah makes it to this machine that she crawls through. And the Terminator's crawling right behind her. Sarah makes it through the machine, and she's able to sit up on a machine or something. And she sees like there's these metal bars she can bring down. She brings them down. And that's going to prevent the Terminator from going after her. So the Terminator is walking not walking. He can't walk anymore. His legs are gone. He's crawling through that machine, but he can't cross like Sarah can, because Sarah has brought on the other end the metal bars. So only the cyborg's arm can go after Sarah. You just hear that's the noise of the arm trying to get Sarah, and it's going right through her face, and it can't really get her. It's not reaching. He's stuck. The Terminator's stuck in there. And then Sarah says, "You're terminated," and she sees a button, and I don't even know how she knew that machine could do that. But it's like a squashing machine, and it starts squashing the Terminator all the way down to the Terminator's red eyes. They go black, and then that's when you know the Terminator has been terminated. So she finally destroys the Terminator that was after her. You see that the paramedics have arrived. You see the cops have arrived. You see the paramedics. They put Kyle Reese in a body bag. What does that mean? Kyle Reese died. He dead. If Sarah would have listened to me, he'd probably still be alive. Oh well. And then you see they haul off Sarah, and the paramedics haul off Sarah in a gurney stretcher. And that's the last you see of that scene. Next, we see that Sarah is pregnant in a Jeep with a dog. Wow, it's pretty quick stuff. It's a daytime. You see she's driving her Jeep through some, like, in the background you see mountains, and it says that she's in Mexico. Subtitle. Is that what it's called? Subtitle. Where's it about? Mexico. She's running low on gas. She pulls into a gas station. That's the funny part. An old Mexican man comes up. Sarah starts reading a book for translation. Pones gasolina, por favor, something like that. And she figures he's Mexican. He should be speaking Spanish, but he goes, no, fill her up, see. He knows English. Okay. So, yeah, he's going to fill up her gas tank. Immediately after that, there's a little Mexican boy takes a picture of Sarah with her dog in the Jeep. And he says something like, quiero $5. Quiero $5 para el foto, por favor. Si no me das ese dinero, mi papá va a pegarme, or something like that. She asked the old man, what did he say for translation? And the old man says, he's saying that if you don't give him $5 for this photo he took of you, then his dad will beat him. And Sarah Connor says, good hustle, kid. Tres. But she's only going to give him $3 for the picture. Man, she cheap. And he says, gracias, señora, which is, thank you, ma'am. The little boy starts babbling again. Ahí viene un tormenta. That's what he says. Once again, Sarah asks the old man like he's a human translating dictionary. He says there's a storm coming. Then Sarah says, I know. If you knew, then why did you have to ask for transition? I'm just kidding. And you see, which is an iconic symbol, sign about the storm, that the storm isn't coming. She's thinking about, there's another storm coming. That means the nuclear war is going to happen. Well, first of all, survival of her baby, the nuclear war is going to happen. And the aftermath of after the nuclear war, there's going to be Terminators to deal with, and trying to save mankind from the Terminators. You already know. And it shows her drive off into the sunset, or into the mountains, Mexican mountains. And that is the end of the movie. As you can tell, this is my first movie review. I would like to make more movie reviews. The thing I want to do, and I don't know what's going to work, it probably won't work, but I'm going to try it, is I'm going to try to do all types of movies. I can do movie reviews. I could do movie reviews on most movies. I can't do them on all of them, but I can do a lot in different topics. Sci-fi, like robots, monsters, romance, comedies, maybe documentaries, maybe some cartoons, especially cartoon movies. Um, Sorry, I forgot to tell you. Terminator is my favorite sci-fi robot movie of all time. But I do look forward to doing my other reviews. Um, I do want to say that I have seen this movie several times. I like to make fun of it. I say a million billion times. Um, I used to even like to play Terminator. My best friend at the time, Eddie, he would come spend at my house. I'd make a gun out of a broomstick and get paper, like a paper towel, the funnel from the inside, put it on top of the broomstick, pretend it's my scope, it's my future gun. My friend Eddie had his gun, I don't remember what he was carrying. Um, and we go outside at night and pretend we're hunting Terminators and we're the resistance fighters. Pretend we're trying to kill the Terminator tanks, Terminator aircraft, Terminators, hide behind the cars. I mean, we had a lot of fun. I miss my friend. He's not. I just lost contact with him. Um. So this movie had to do with part of my life. I enjoyed it. I did. I saw it a lot back then. I see it a lot now. But yeah, I like to get back to the other. I look forward to doing movie reviews over other different types of movies. Something tells me I should just stick to like one types of movies, like just sci-fi or horror. That's what other people do. But I want to try to do it everything, even chick flicks. I'm romantic at heart. I don't mean to sound weird or anything. Is there something wrong with a guy liking romance? Maybe. Talk bad about us? Maybe. But I want to see if I can do it. You know, I want to. Sometimes I try to satisfy everyone. You know, and I do want to prove to myself that I can do movie reviews on different type of movies. Just like the list I mentioned, the romance, sci-fi, monsters, what have you. See how much I can do. I just want to see if I can do it. I might start a chat room to talk with you guys. That'd be interesting. I look forward to that. Hopefully it'll all come true. Look forward to doing movie reviews. Hopefully, if all goes well, that will be done. I hope I get a fan base. I do have a lot to say. And I look forward to hearing y'all's comments and tell me what you think. And you can let me know if you like my movie reviews or tell me you don't like it. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I won't get mad, I promise. um, but I'm gonna try to get. I think my thing is gonna be a aDestroyer. I don't have something yet for that. I'm still getting everything ready. You can call me Alberto, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. And hopefully, I'll have my new movie review so you can see. Hope you enjoyed this one. And this is Alberto. I'm signing off, and I hope to see you soon, and then see you again. Bye.